Hi there, welcome back to 355 Code. Today we will be doing the fourth part of our Blackjack tutorial, and we're going to be learning how to deal out the dealer's hand. Last time we talked about the player's hand, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you might want to check out some of the previous videos in this tutorial. You can see the links in the description below. And just to remind you what's going on, let's do a short demonstration of where we're at now. So we have a dealer hand and a player hand, and when we click hit, so we add another card to the player hand. In this case I was bust, but let's try it one more time. Hit, and you see another card is added. And basically what we want to do now is we want to work on this pass button, which will let us deal more cards to the dealer. And the dealer really has a set logic of how it plays out its hand. So it can really be, it's a great thing to use a computer for, because it's not like a player that needs to think if they want to hit or not. So let's jump right in and start doing that. So first of all, we're going to need to add an event listener to this pass button. And that's what's going to activate our dealing the the dealer's hand. So we're going to add an event listener for a click event, and let's just call this one hit dealer. Okay, so let's think of the things that need to happen in this hit dealer function. Okay, and I'm going to explain kind of what is going on here. And what we need to do, and then if you want, you can give it a try and do it yourself, or you can follow along with me and I will show you how I solve this problem. So first of all, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to flip over this green card. Okay, so we're going to flip green card and reveal it. Okay, and then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to calculate the hand value, okay, for the dealer. And then we are, based on the value of the hand, we need to implement a certain logic. Okay, so this logic is based on the rules of Blackjack. So if the hand value, okay, is bigger than 16, is smaller than 16, then we're going to hit. Okay, we're going to add a card. Okay, and if the value is equal to 21, dealer wins. If the value is bigger than 21, dealer bust. Okay, and in any other situation, okay, we are going to just decide who wins. Okay, based on the value of the dealer and the value of the player's hand. Okay, so if you want to give this a try yourself, you can pause the video now and give it a try. And if not, you can follow along with me and pause again along the way if you figured something out and you want to try again. So let's start with flipping the green card. Okay, so to flip the green card around, we need to do two things. One is we need to remove this green background, and the other is that we need to add the value of the card into this card element. Okay, so let's say that we have a hidden card. Okay, and that hidden card is equal to the dealer dot children 0. Okay, that's basically this card element. And what we want to do first is we want to, for the hidden card, we want to remove something from its class list. So we're going to do class list.remove, and what we're going to be removing is the back class. Okay, because that's what basically gives it this green color. And then what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to say that the inner HTML of this hidden card is going to be equal to the value of the dealer hand 0. Okay, and now you can see that if we run our code and I click this pass button, then our card flips over. Okay, so that is the first stage of the hitting the dealer. And the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to calculate the hand values. Let's say let hand value equal to, and here I'm actually going to be using async await. And because I expect this calculation might take some time, and I don't want to have any issues with my code, so I'm just going to say dealer hand. Okay, and now we basically have the value of the dealer hand. And the first thing that we're going to want to check if it's lower than 16. Okay, so if the dealer hand, if the hand value is lower than 16, then what we're going to want to do is add a card. Okay, so how we add a card in? Basically, we need to say new card equals to, what's our function for getting a random card? Select a random card. Okay, select random card. Okay, and then we are going to say dealer hand dot push random card. New card. And what we're going to want to do is we're also going to want to create a new card and add it to the dealer hand. Okay, so in order to create a new card, we can take a look here at what we did over here. So we said new card node, okay, equals to card model.clone node, and then we said new card node introduced as a new card, and then we appended it. So we can actually use this code again because it's pretty much the same exact thing. We're just going to need to change that this is instead of player, this is going to be dealer. Okay, so let's format this document and let's save our code and try running it. Okay, so here we have king. I don't know what the other one is, so let's say pass, and we had 12 here. Okay, so we flipped the card and we added another card because 12 is less than 16. Okay, so we know that this code is working now. Okay, now what are we going to want to do? So after we added a card, because the hand value was lower than 16, then we're going to want to check again if the hand value, after the hand value has changed, what our next step is going to be. Okay, so we're going to say that hand value is equal to await calc value again. Okay, because if we ran this code, if we ran this code and we added another card, then we're going to recalculate the hand value. We can even add this part of the code into this if statement. Okay, so only if we added another card, we need to recalculate the hand value again. Okay, and now we're going to write another if statement based on this hand value. So we're going to say if hand value is smaller than 16, what are we going to do? We're going to run this hit dealer again. Okay, because the dealer just keeps on hitting until he has above 16. Okay, and now we're going to have a few else ifs. Okay, so the first else if is going to be if the hand value is equal to 21. Okay, and in that case, we're going to say, let's say alert, dealer has 21. Okay, and then we're going to have another else if, and that's if the hand value is bigger than 21. Okay, and in this case, we have dealer bust. Okay, alert, dealer bust. Okay, and in the last situation, that's going to be else, because that's everything else that's not one of these situations up here. That's going to be decide the winner. Okay, and that we're going to figure out soon. But first I want to check the rest of our code and see that everything is working. So I'm going to save that, format it actually and save it, and then run the code again. So we have here 10 blank, pass, 10, 10. Okay, so this is in this area of the else, so that's why the code stopped running. Let's try again. So we pass, the dealer added 1, so that means dealer is equal to 16. That means we're here in the else statement again. Let's try one more time. Okay, dealer has, in this case, 19, because let's see what the value of ace is, if we have anything here. Queen, king. Okay, so I'm realizing we actually need to make a small fix in some of our previous code regarding the value of an ace, but we'll get to that later on. First, let's deal with what we're doing now. So, okay, dealer bust. Okay, dealer was bust, and you can see here that we have 22. Okay, so we know that this is working, and this we'll probably have to play a bunch of times until we get 21. So let's deal with the decide winner function. Okay, so I'm going to do that up here, and basically we're going to have another function that's basically going to decide winner. Okay, and this function needs to do a few things. So first of all, it needs to calculate both of the hands. So let's say let dealer value equal to calc value dealer hand. Okay, and I'm going to turn this also into async await, just to play it on the safe side. Okay, because there's a calculation that's being done here. And let's do the same thing here for player hand. Player value equals to player hand. Okay, so now we have the values, and basically what we need to do is just compare the two. Okay, so we're going to say dealer value is bigger than player value. Okay, and if the dealer value is higher, then let's say alert dealer wins. Okay, and then let's say, so we can actually turn this into a template literal and say, let's say dealer wins with, or actually what we can do is just, let's make this dealer wins, and we'll make the other option player wins. So alert player wins. Okay, and here we can actually just say the values of each hand no matter what. No matter who wins, we probably want to know the values of the hands. So we can say alert. This will make a template literal. So dealer has, and then here we'll put the dealer value. And again, when you're writing your own game, you can make decisions here of how you want this to be written out or presented. And you'll see that in our final game, it kind of looks a little different. But here I'm just trying to really communicate the logic and the coding to you. So dealer has dealer value, and you have player value. Okay. And then over here, we are going to use this function to decide the winner when the dealer is finished hitting. Okay, so let's save the code and let's run. So pass, dealer has 18, you have 11, dealer wins. Okay, and then the dealer's hand is dealt out. Okay, so let's try it one more time just to check it out. Whoops. Okay, so that you saw where there was a little error. That's because of this ace here. Okay, so let's actually deal with that problem right now. So let's take a look at our calculate value function. Okay, so here we dealt with the situations where the card 0 is K, Q, J, or if it is 10, or sorry, if it's any other value, numerical value. And we didn't deal with the situation of if it's an ace. Okay, so basically what we need to do is, in this situation, okay, so we dealt with, this is if the card length is equal to 2. Okay, so that is, and this is the case where the card length is equal to 3. And we really need to deal with the situation that it's an ace. And that will basically fall into this category. Okay. So here, let's say, okay, so if card length equals to 2, and here we're going to need to break this statement up a bit and see where we can fit the ace into this logic. So I'm thinking here together with you guys, because I didn't prepare this in advance, to be honest, and we just need to kind of deal with the situation. So let's think together. So let's start with, first we'll check and see if it's an ace. And then if it's not an ace, then we will deal with the other situations that we have here below. Okay, so if the card length is equal to 2, okay, then first of all, let's see if card 0 is equal to ace, okay, and let's deal with that situation. So if it's an ace, then it really depends on the value of the whole entire hand, because ace has a thing where it can either be 1 or it can be 11. Okay, so what we're going to need to do here is actually know the value of the entire hand. So okay, I'm actually going to change the logic around here, because we need to wait and calculate the entire hand and then figure out what the ace is going to be worth. So we're actually going to run this, okay, and you know what we're going to do? I do want that code that I wrote there before. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to have a variable here that is worth has ace. Okay, and it's going to be Boolean. So let's say it's false. Okay, and then, or you know what? Let's say has ace equals 0. Okay, and then basically for each ace in the hand, we are going to want to add 1 to this has ace value. Okay, so if the card is equal to ace, then has ace plus equals 1. Okay, and then we can also run this code on the bottom, because if it's an ace, then it won't run this code, and if it is any other card, no, actually, let's put this in an else statement just to be on the safe side. Okay. Okay, so in the case that we have an ace, then we will be dealing with it this way, and in every other case we already dealt with that when we wrote this function out the first time. Okay, so here on the bottom, okay, after we check the value of our hand, so depending on the value of the hand, we will want to determine what the value of the ace will be. Okay, so if an ace being 11 will cause the hand to go bust, then we will make the value of the ace 1. Otherwise, we will make it 11, okay? Because we're going to assume that you want the highest number unless you're going to go bust, okay? So if has ace, okay, then in that situation, we're going to check what the value is. So if has ace, let's see, then value is value plus 11 is bigger than 21. Okay, if we're going to bust, then what we're going to do is value plus equals 1. And otherwise, we're going to do value plus equals 11. Okay, so if adding 11 to value would make us go bust, then you could also do here, instead of that, you could just say, is value bigger than 10? But I think that this visually kind of explains what we're doing in our code a little better, so I'm actually going to leave it like that. And okay, so this has ace. Let's think about it for a second. So I originally wrote it 0 here because I was thinking we might have situations where we have more than one ace. But to be honest, if we have more than one ace, let's see, if has ace. So let's say if has ace is equal to 1. Okay, then we'll do it like this. Okay, if let's think about it for a second. So if we have one ace, then we're going to do this. And if we have two aces, then one of them is going to be, only one of them can be like this. And all the other aces are going to be, all the other aces are going to be equal to 1 because we can't have two aces that are equal to 11. So value plus equals 1. And then let's add here, under this, we'll add value. Okay, so here we just need to have has ace bigger than 0. Okay, so then we'll have value plus equal has ace minus 1. Okay, because we already dealt with one of the aces up there. Times, we actually don't need to do times because it would be times 1, but we could write times 1 just so visually you understand what we're doing. But basically, first we check how many aces we have in the hand. So if we have one ace, then we'll just have this code run, and then has ace minus 1 will be equal to 0, so we won't add anything to the value. If we have two aces, then this will run, and then has ace minus 1 will be equal to 1, 2 minus 1, and then we'll add another 1 to the value. And so on and so forth. If we have, 5 aces, then no, we can't have 5 aces because there are only 4. Let's say we have 4 aces, so we'll have one ace will be worth 11, and the other 3 aces will be calculated using this line. Okay, so that works pretty well. That covers our bases. And now we can save our code and try running it and see, okay, perfect, we got an ace. So let's pass, and dealer has 17, and you have 16. Let's see what the dealer had. Okay, so the dealer had a 6, so this ace was worth 11. And let's try running again, and we're getting very lucky, and we got another ace here. So let's try passing. Dealer has 19, you have 19. Okay, so this was ace also 11, and okay, so here's a situation where the ace is going to be 11 because then we'll get 21. So let's try passing. Dealer bust. Okay, that didn't really help us very much. So let's try running the code again. And pass. Dealer bust. Run. I'm just kind of waiting to see if we get any aces here. I'll just keep on running until we have an ace in the, okay, we got an ace there. Dealer has 21, okay. Waiting for that situation where you want the ace to be equal to, 1. Okay, dealer, so this is probably a 7 over here. Okay. So what we can do in a situation like this is we could set up our own test. Perfect. Okay, so I kind of missed the alert, but here we see a situation where we gave ourselves 3 aces and a jack. So for that situation to happen, definitely all these aces cannot be equal to 11. So I'm pretty sure our code works, and I'll rewatch this video and see what the alert was and double check that. So that is for finding the dealer hand. So if you've been following along with this tutorial, you basically have your blackjack game set up because we have a dealer hand, we can hit and give ourselves more cards, and we have a player hand, we have a player hand that we can hit and give more cards, we have a dealer hand that automates itself, and that is the game of blackjack. So a few things that you can do here to improve on your code and make the game a little better. First of all, you can work on those alerts and make them more interactive. You can even make your own custom element that will pop up with certain prompts. And you'll also want a way to deal the next hand, okay? Because each time now we're running all the code, but what you'll want to do is to have a button that will just deal a new hand, and that way you'll be using the same decks. Because now each time we run the code, we're creating all the decks again. Okay, but we actually don't want to do it like that, because that takes out the chance for people to count cards if that's what they're practicing or whatnot. So yeah, that's all for this tutorial, but you should have the basics down, and I do believe that if you've gotten this far, then you have the tools to finish this up, and you can use some of the classes that I've created, and you can consult with our final code, which is also linked here in the description below. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll have some more tutorials for you soon.